Yo, 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 yo. Where am I gonna put this thing? That's the real question. We were cleaning the bus, deep cleaning with Handy Danny toothbrush. You know what? We might even cut the fan so it's a little bit easier to hear us. And then we can use the fan um, to like prop things up or something like that. I got a tripod around here somewhere. Here, but I can't really see chat, so um, we'll just chat every now and again. We might need that fan instantly. I don't know. Let's see. I think putting hit me with the double tap thing. My bad, guys. All right. Whoa. All right. I think we got it. We got it set up. See if we can take our drink out. What's up? Today we're talking about the solar plexus. We asked a question, and that question was, who are you? And by that we mean, who's your spirit? Who's your like, not your physical form, right? We're talking about who you are as, like we said, spirit energy. Are you funny? Are you courageous? Are you outgoing? Are you introverted? Are you adventurous? Are you loving? Are you funny? What makes you up as a spirit before we even get to the physical form, right? And then second, what do you want to do? So once I got to the solar plexus, and one of the first questions is that, what do you want to do? And I said, I have a twin brother that lives with autism, and before I found meditation, my life kind of revolved, my entire life, like I said, twin brother, my entire life has pretty much, not going to say 100% revolved, but it was, heavily focused, if not slightly focused, on providing for my brother. So when Spirit asked me the question, what do you want to do? I said, I want to get enough money so I can take care of my brother and do this and do that. And they said, that's great that you would say that, but we asked, what do you want to do? Not what you want to do for others, or what others want you to do, what society wants you to do, your parents, what you want others to do, right? So I said, this is interesting, because I guess I put my own wants and desires down for so long that I, like, I've completely abandoned the fact that when I'm happy, when I'm hiking, I'm happy when I'm meditating. I feel at peace. This is the things that I wish I can do more of, but then it's like I always got to go to work. I always got to go back, whatever it is. So I said, man, it would be super nice to just fucking meditate and hike all day. Like, that would be tight. And I eventually ended up doing that. And yeah, we got some pictures from our experiences. So I ended up just doing that with my life. So I've been doing that for over half a decade, I can say for sure. So it changed my life because then started realizing, oh, I don't have to go to work, because I go to work to make money to pay for a place I don't really enjoy and to all these things. And realistically, I just want to sit on the mountain. So it doesn't cost to do that. At certain mountains, sure it does, but in a lot of mountains, it doesn't. You know. So realizing that the more I let go, the more I was able to show up for myself. And the thing I wanted to talk about today was how we have to commit, because what happened was when I started like waking up and, understanding myself, I would then do these things, have this, you go hiking and you have these epiphanies. One of the biggest impacts, I think it was 2017, I believe, was the eclipse. It was in August. I gotta remember the day. I want to say 8/8, but if it was, that's super crazy. But I remember it was around August, and it was a total eclipse where I saw it at. I think I drove up to like South Carolina or somewhere in Georgia, but I drove a little bit to get there out of the city because I wanted the total eclipse. And when I saw the total eclipse, right, when you're on a mountain and the whole thing turns dark, right, you see it gradually go over the land, right, just, not complete like pitch black, but it's like nighttime. And you see the animals stop moving and even get quiet, and everybody's quiet. And it just, seeing that, I was like, yo, what am I doing? Because I remember they called me. I'm walking up this mountain, right, and I'm trying to hurry up before the eclipse. So I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna like try to back, go through the bushes, get off the trail, find my own secret path that's not with a lot of people. So as I'm doing this and I'm climbing up and doing this, my phone starts ringing, and I'm like super in the moment. And I pick it up. I'm like, it's work. Are they calling me about a paycheck? And they call me and they say, yo, we're doing forklift training, right? To get your forklift certification. It says that you're supposed to be here and you're not here. What's going on? I said, yo, I did forklift training like 2 weeks ago. I'm already certified. I already did the whole thing. And they said, oh. And instead of just apologizing and saying, oh, we double booked you, they were like, so you're not going to show up again? I said, what do you mean show up again? I just told you I'm already certified. What are you talking about? Well, you can get some extra practice on the forklift. I said, y'all don't stop playing on my damn phone. I am hiking right now. I'm not going back to work for an hour of driving a forklift. And realistically, you're listening, you drive the forklift for maybe 5 minutes, you know? So I hang up, and that like impacted me. And like I said, I saw the eclipse at the end. I ended up climbing this tree, and it was even like a mission getting down, and these people like helped me like with my camera. I like lowered it down. Hola, hola. I lowered it down, and how do you? We did a wave. Oh, I'm trying to press. Oh, I guess you're just supposed to say hi on your own. Right on. So I'm lowering the camera down. with like the strap. They take it, and I'm still like sitting in the tree even though my camera's on the ground, because I'm just like, one, how do I get down from here? Because I climbed this tree because I was just so in the moment, and I just wanted to get the highest I could to the moon. I wanted to climb to the highest point and see this eclipse. So when I'm attempting to get down, it's like slow, and even one of the branch broke on the way up, so I had to like jump. But I get down and I start walking, and I'm just like everyone's just going home, you know? Like, what's going on, Sergio? Luna and Vino, thank you guys for joining. Uh, I'm just like, why is everyone going home? You know, like why? I would be like, yo, fuck that, we're staying here. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm staying in the park. I'm staying one with nature. But I gotta go walk down this whole mountain, and I remember my legs started to hurt, and it was like another hour walking just down the freaking road, and I end up seeing the people that helped me bring my camera down. They said, yo, hop in the back of the truck, and they drove me to my car. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, that was like one of the first instances of like manifestation and kind of putting your energy out into the world. Because if you're nice and you're just interacting with people, you never know what karma is going to come back to you. Thank you, like a few people that actually saw my. Yo, I got you. I got you. You know, we Cortcito worldwide. You know, I'm all about, again, what I'm not even that spirit, because like we said, it's people who care. A lot of times people act like they care, and then they don't really care, and then they're mad when they get negative karma. That's why spirit's like, bro, you want to know why the Illuminati, or you know, all these people in power are able to be in power? Because they fully embrace the dark side. There's no like tiptoeing. You know, they're not tiptoeing in their Jordans. Shouts out to Riff Raff. And okay, hold on, because before people clip it up, what spirit is saying, you gotta fully commit to your dreams. You gotta fully commit to the life that you want to live. Because if you're halfway committing, right? Let's say Trump, whether you like him or not, the president, blah 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 blah. Like, you think that they're committing and doing whatever it is that they're doing, right? Any leader, right? Leader, right? And go, you know what? I'm gonna do that shit tomorrow. You know, I'm gonna save up at my regular job. You know, I'm gonna watch TV. Let me finish this season. Let me finish this series, and then I'm gonna go do that. Whatever it is. No, these motherfuckers are out there getting it every day, right? And that's how you even combat, let's say, negative things like sex trafficking and murder, bombings, all this shit, right? You have to get out and go spread positive energy out into the world on that same level, on that same commitment, right? And that's why the solar plexus is very important, because, again, I'm bringing it up. When I was at work, I was very committed to work. I was, you know, in my early 20s, and showing up every day. One of the first days I came to work, if you know anything about wrapping cables, let's see if you got a cable here. And this was broken, right? Let's do a cable wrapping. We're doing cable wrapping real quick. Just real quick, guys. Just real quick. All right, we're gonna wrap this cable. So I'm at the Marriott, the Hyatt, one of the hotels. I'm working corporate in Atlanta, doing AV tech. So I worked at a computer or a camera equipment rental place. And fun fact, we're cleaning. We're cleaning. But this is the 7D. This is the shit at the time, to show my age. When the 7D was out, it was like, yo, you got access to the 7D. Now this camera just holds my phone up, if you know cameras and stuff, you know how like kind of funny that is. It's like the equivalent of iPhone 17 and iPhone 4, like, or even the first iPhone. It's like, wow, now I moved it and we're losing. Okay, whatever. Just real quick, and I'll get back to reading. So I worked at a place that rented that, and the person that taught me, they said, "Hey, shoot." They said, "Yo, wrap the cables like this. You see how I'm not fully doing it around your arm, right in your elbow. That's how you wrap cables really fast." And we be. So when I get to my professional job years later, right after college and all that, I'm like, all right. They said, "Yo, what can you do? Can you wrap cables?" I said, "Yeah, I can wrap some cables, man. I got you. I wrap cables fast as fuck, right?" So they were like, "All right, bet. Go around any cable you find, wrap it up, hit it with the little, the little wrap thing, the little Velcro, and then come put it right here on this road case." So I'm like, bet. So I'm going around with the elbow. They say, "Hey, yo, you!" Through the whole ballroom. And if you know about hotels, if you maybe have like a family reunion, you've been to a convention or something like that, you can split the ballrooms in half, right? So it's full open through the whole motherfucking side of the hotel. "You over there!" I felt it in my soul who they were talking to. I said, "Yo, what?" Like this. They said, "Drop that motherfucking cable." I got chewed out, all that. So I think it was like OSHA regulations. Every 2.5 hours, you get a 15-minute break, right? So it was either that or I probably stayed on my lunch too. But I don't. No, it was an out. It wasn't a lunch. I stayed on my break because it's an out. We're breaking down, right? I'm making sure I'm getting the facts right for you guys. When you see the stand up special, it'll be all work together. Ha ha ha. So I stayed on my break while everybody went for a break. "Oh, you gonna go to a break, get a snack and all that stuff?" I said, "No, I'm gonna stay and like learn wrapping the cables because this is how you wrap a cable, right? Every cable tells a story, right? Every cable is, its own cable. Don't try to wrap it like the last cable. You gotta pick that motherfucker up. Again, pick that thing up right here. Grab a good piece, right? You'll kind of feel it and you like slowly lift it up and then boom, you get this circle, right? That's why I say every cable tells a story because the circle is going to vary in size. So once you kind of do this a couple times, right? Boom, then you can go faster because now you know the cable story. And then you can even get tighter and all that. Like this, I can probably do it tighter and then you would Velcro out, do all that. So that's how you wrap the cable. So why did I tell that story? Because about commitment, right? Was born 2015. Holy smokes. Yep. Shouts out. Shouts out though. Shouts out. Um, Good year. Good year. So the reason I bring up that and commitment is because when I was at my job, I was committed, and that's how I was able to go from the person who didn't know how to do anything to the supervisor to the guy working 300 feet in the air at the Atlanta Mercedes Stadium, right? Rigging and all that. But I was committed. And one of the times I was at U2 and I was working a U2 concert in Louisville, Kentucky, not Louisville, Louisville, right? That's what the locals say. So I'm doing that, and I worked this 24-hour shift, and I still wanted to go hang out with the person that I made plans with, and I ended up watching this Basquiat documentary, and it just like impacted me to see how someone who you think is just rich and famous and all that, and then they die. They started out just by picking up trash and making art out of that because they couldn't afford the supplies. So I remember seeing that and then falling asleep because, again, I worked a 24-hour shift. So during that time, I was learning about the chakras and meditation. I saw it in the Avatar, and I was like, the cartoon, The Last Airbender. I was like, oh, they're bringing up chakras and stuff. That kind of, I wonder if that's real. And then when I looked it up, I was like, oh, it actually is real. So then I started learning more about it. So I'm like, okay, let me um get a bunch of money, right? I did the whole tour or whatever, and when I took time off to work on my own festival and start meditating like full time, I did it as a job. Well, like, because everybody, I still have roommates. Everybody's still getting up to go to work around like 5, 6. So you still feel that energy of get up, like it's time to get ready for work. So I would get up and then treat meditation like really serious. I would have my individual chakra incense. I would have my individual crystals I would meditate with. I had lights, park hands. If you know, you know. They're like this. Again, we're cleaning. So they look like this. And you can change the colors on the really good ones. So we had these park hands, and I would change them to the colors of the chakra. So my meditations were really, really focused on the particular chakras. I would focus on these particular questions. And that's what helped me really elevate. And that's why with these questions, I feel that when a lot of times they'll tell you, oh, just come to my event, I'm going to give you a sound healing. Boom, boy, nothing wrong with a sound healing. Nothing's wrong with cacao. Nothing's wrong with dancing or yoga and all that. Yet when they tell you, okay, now your chakras are aligned, that's where we have an issue. Because yes, you might have felt it. It might have stirred something up. Yet your chakras aren't aligned until you do the heavy, deep, work and lifting. When you do that, then you start elevating. So the further I got in my meditations, the further, like I said, in the solar plexus, once we get to, so what do you want to do? I started detaching more and more from society. I wasn't committing to my job the same way I was before. So I stopped showing up. I ended up going late. I ended up, I was supposed to rig. I showed up late. I lost my position and went to being a stagehand. Going from rigging to stagehand is crazy. It's like going from the top to the bottom, and people talk to you crazy. And I was like, yo, you're not about to talk to me like that. Like, I'm not talking to you like that. You better not talk to me like that. Oh, no, fuck all that. And I remember throwing the steel down like, yo, what's good? They like, oh, now you're taking it too far. I just asked you politely not to talk to me crazy. Now when it's up, I'm tripping, right? And it was Cirque du Soleil, and one of the French people said something to me, and I just grabbed the sign-out sheet and I left. And I realized I would work about 12 plus hours a day on the things that I wanted to do. Like, once I wake up in the morning, I would get up and I'd be like, all right, let's edit this video. Let's make the flyers. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I would meditate, do that, play video games. And I said, yo, when I'm doing something I want to do, I'm never like stressed out like, oh, I gotta do this. I'm waking up and getting right to it. So much so that I was working so much editing that I gave myself a hemorrhoid. And at that point, I had to just lay in a beanbag chair and like really study astrology and tarot and numerology and all that stuff. And when I really got into it, it was like, yo, now there's no going back because I really understand this. I really like said, because before it was like, all right, I'm getting this. It's I don't know, we're just supposed to have a good time and vibe out, whatever. But it's like, actually, the good time comes from us actually being with ourselves. We think like, someone says, oh, it's all about having sex and going to a party and shit like that. And yeah, there's sex and there's parties, right? but it's also the thing that really makes you happy. For me, I might kick it with my friends and play video games. You know, I might, like I said, hike, skateboard, doing this. This makes me happy because when it when I see all this stuff going on in the world, it goes, oh, why don't you go to the protest? Well, why don't we create a good space, a good environment for us to feel comfortable, for us to have hope, right? This isn't just like, oh, believe in this one thing. It's saying, yo, the answer's within yourself. When you, hey, how's it going? Um, we're talking about believing in yourself, commitment, the solar plexus. When you believe in yourself and you fully commit to that, that's when your world change. The issue is, let's say if I stayed at work, my heart's not fully in it. I'm going to, let's say I'm doing music, but I'm not giving myself all the time. So I'm going to, oh, I got to go to work. Hey, you want to go to this event? They got an open spot to perform. Oh, we're going to the studio, this, that, and the other. You might go, oh, man, I don't got money to do this. Or maybe they charge you to perform at the event, right? Maybe they say, yo, I got you on the studio session. Just give me like $50 and I'll let you record for 4 hours and I got the beats, right? You might go, oh, fuck, I don't got the money for that. When? Tonight at 8 o'clock? It might be 12. It might be 9 in the morning. It might be fucking 5 o'clock. It might be 7 o'clock. It might be 7:30, right? What Spirit is saying is usually we'll go, oh, I can't do it. Let me go to work, get some money, and I'm going to save up enough money to follow my dreams, right? Spirit's saying, hey, that's not how that works, because now, are you committed at work? No, because you're so focused on, let's say, your dreams. And then when you're at your dreams, you're focused on the fear of not being able to afford that while not coming up with a path that actually help you succeed. So when I left my job, like I said, oh, I got to figure out how to make money. I got to figure out how to do this. I said, what do I want to do all day? I want to meditate. I want to do tarot. I want to travel. I want to do all this shit. Again, sit on the mountain, hang out. So how am I going to make money off that? I'm not going to do that sitting in my house, right? So I went out, inspired by the Basquiat movie, grabbed a piece of cardboard, wrote tarot readings on it, sat on a blanket, bink, and someone came up, bow, gave me my first $10. I realized it was possible. That $10 from the first day turned into $100, turned into doing readings for $1,000 an hour, and people flying all over the world to get a reading from me and hang out. And I was like, yo, this got crazy. I never even thought it was going to be like this. I just thought, all right, I'm not going to be unhappy at my job and I just make a little bit to eat for the day. And now, things worked out, right? Why did things work out, though? Because I committed to the path. When I was thinking about, okay, I want to do this, but I also have the fear in the understanding, let's say not even the fear, the concern and the recognition that food costs, that water costs, shelter costs, all these things cost, and I have to provide them for myself somehow, right? If I gotta, now ownership, now, tents, builders, whatever. There's so many things that we can do better, and that's what we're attempting to say. We're attempting to say, like, when you use your concerns and solve them with your goals, right, it actually helps you get to your goals faster, right? So let's say it's the music thing, right? Here's the music thing. I'm just being honest, and we did this. We said, yo, we're going from California to New York, and we're going to go and have all these events and perform and do our own events, rapping and singing and doing stand-up, all that shit. So it's like, yo, how are you even going to get gas? How are you going to do that? We would drive, and I would go live and do tarot readings in the car, Or when we pulled over at the gas station, we had a speaker and no microphone, just a speaker even. And we would just post up by the car and freestyle and be like, yo, we're trying to get money for gas or something. We might have a sign or some shit like that, like, need gas, and we'll just vibe out and play music. Not even asking nobody nothing. Just like, yo, we just gonna rap and sing and all that shit. And people would come and give us $20, whatever it is. All right, put $20 in the tank, get out of here, go to the next spot. The $20 is gonna get us further down the road where we want to go. We'll get into a city. Somebody will be like, oh, I'm following your journey this whole time. Pull up. I work at this restaurant. I'll get you guys some free food. I want to see you guys try it. I want to see you guys make a video on it. All that stuff. So we go, all right, bet. You know? All these things start being provided for us because we were committed to the goal. When you're committed and you show up, right, 100%, Spirit's showing up 100%. It's a 50-50, right? You show up the 50, they show up the other 50. Spirit doesn't show up 51% though. No. 50. Not 49. 50. Right? So you don't have to go above and beyond just showing up. But you definitely have to. You can't halfway do it. And that's what I see a lot of times in the spiritual community, is that a lot of times people come out, they leave their jobs. They blow through their money, their savings, out in the community, out, oh, we're doing van life, this, that, and the other. Oh, we blew through our savings because, you know, this with the car, and this with this, and this with this, and this with that. So instead of being like, all right, well, I want to stay doing van life out in Mount Shasta, Sedona, Appalachian Trail, wherever, fucking Indonesia, wherever, to Bali, wherever the fuck people were doing van life, right? Yet, oh, I ran out of money, so I'm conditioned to tell myself, oh, I gotta go backwards and go back to work. Instead of, how can I solve my problem with my goal, right? Like I said, yo, if you do music, you can stand on the street corner with a motherfucking sign and just sing, rap, beat your mother, hit the drum. I knew this guy, and I put it in a song. He would take one of those little buckets and just flip it over, used it as a fucking drum. Boop, 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 boop. Make money like that. I remember I was talking to him. He was like, yeah, it was a good day. I made $35. Mind you, I made like over 100 something, and I thought it was like, it was like maybe 120, something like that. And I was like, you know, I was really trying to make 2, maybe 3. But, and I remember walking home being like, damn, like, I ain't make 2 today. Like, trying to, like, you know, beat myself up over it. And then he was so stoked on 35, and then put it in perspective, like, damn, I'm just being so hard on myself, and I understand that every day I'm trying to make more, or, you know, well, that's where I really start asking, I said, what is the motivation? Because if now I know I'm good at readings, and I know what I do, and what am I working towards, right? If I'm just working towards making more money and charging more for readings, then that means I'm just perpetuating the capitalistic mindset. Yet if I didn't even charge for readings, how could I do that and focus more on my meditations, right? And that's when I left the city, gave everything up, hit the trails, chilled on Blood Mountain, aka Freewater Mountain, right? New name. So it's like, a lot of people, let's say, believe. You can believe, but if you're not committing, then what are we going to do about it? You know? I mean, I can be here all day with all the stories in the world, right? A lot of people can get high off that, like, oh, like those life coaches. You go to the seminar, you get super high off the whole thing, and they want you to keep buying the thing. We want you to commit. We want you to show up. We want you to like know that it's possible. I think that's the biggest thing. And not even like doing it for yourself right now in this moment, but if you know that it's possible, and you're like, once the perfect opportunity comes, which could be today, right? But you'll feel it in your heart, where you just be like, I just can't do this no more. And when that comes, and that day comes, and you're like, all right, but it's time to like lock in, then and you just stay on that path and don't look back, because you're on the path for a reason. Don't start the path and then run backwards when it gets tough. It's supposed to get tough. It's supposed to see if you can handle it, you know? But if you can handle it and you lock in, you, instead of running backwards, oh, I ran out of money. I gotta go back home and go to work and do this and do that. Whatever it is, though, if you want to be a mechanic, if you want to be a janitor, be the guy that flips the signs, whatever it is, just figure out a way to turn your dreams into reality. Your dreams into reality by breaking it down, by understanding what it is that you want to do and how you want to do that. So, whew. I feel like I'm gonna get back to cleaning, and I'll pick this up a little bit. I'm gonna get a little cleaning done. We gotta we gotta resonate on some things. We gotta soak it in. All right, this phone is probably gonna fall having it up like this, but it's not falling now. Hopefully, the magic of the universe keeps this phone up and safe. Look at this stuff. Yeah, you can see through that thing, huh? Man, it was crazy. It's dog hair, dirt. Now it's cleaning ASMR with the fan. Commercial break. You guys even see what I'm cleaning? Let's see. There we go. That's a better angle. Right up at that filter. I always do this. I know, I probably put it somewhere smart. Like right next to it, duh. I think it's right here. Yeah. And then we gotta test the AC unit. I'm not attempting to flip my phone. All right. Look at this stuff. Sure. Right. Ay, ay, ay. just figuring out using my thumb to get in there. And I figure I just do one side at a time instead of constantly trying to flip it. Takes up a lot of time. People are free to ask whatever questions. If you guys got anything going on in life, just want to talk. It's just a place, you know. But I'm not going to be the guy who's like constantly yelling into the camera or like, yo, you need to listen to this and this and this and. When I got something to say, I definitely say it, for sure. But they're clapping. New way to hold it. Got in the chokehold. The gator roll might seem easier. You know what might actually be good? Toothbrush action. Yeah, cleaning the air filters looks way better. Dog hair and all that stuff.
That's meditative.
Yeah.
What's on? Just agua especial.
Sí. Oh, look at that. Got it on the ground. Yeah, I think we just need the pressure washers just to last these things. It's getting cleaner. I keep taking it off camera. Can hear the breeze, can hear the fan. Huh? I'm on live, yeah. Let me get off. Oh, I went an hour. I just want to go an hour, 62. I'm just hanging out now.
I was thinking
They're just good plants.
they're wicked.
Powerful.
They're wicked good.
Powerful plants.
Like wicked, like. Okay, so all the information is out there. Aquarius, information, everything is literally hidden. All sides know that there's aliens. All sides know that it's very chemicals. All sides know that now they said we don't have to tell you everything. All sides said that there's frequencies that will affect how you feel. And yes, they have even done it, and people have suffered it. So all the information's out there, right? So then we know that as much as we enjoy sports and movies, it's the circus that distracts us. It's not a true investment on our energy for the people's energy. And that energy is artificial. Right? So you go to the game, it's just like the amusement park. You feel these extreme feelings, and somehow, I don't know the mechanism, but somehow they're capturing that energy and they're using it to their win, and then they're using it for another thing. I mean, for all we know, they're using the frequency there, and we don't know.
Yeah.
So, who says we don't do the same? Because if it's known, and by going to the game, they're consenting to this. The information's out there.
They bought tickets. I said they bought tickets.
They bought $1,000 tickets.
More than that. $1 million tickets sometimes.
Like right now.
Yeah.
So, if it's consented, they consent to it. Like I'm saying, why don't we do the same?
do you mean by do the same?
Why don't we harvest the energy that's gonna? It's like there's gonna be a peace. It's like getting mad at people that go to school. Like, bro, it's not go. No one judges you. Like if you need to go to school, like there's some people that hate, and they're like, oh, look at all these people learning lazy. That's not a thing. You can go too. If you don't want to cook, go to the fucking kitchen. No one judges you. Like, it's okay. Go to school. Like, it's happening. So Sunday, Saturday. But I mean, the Argentina one was huge because the Argentina won at the whole world. They already won last. They won 4 years ago, and it was huge then. Now Argentina has a bigger presence. Messi, what the man did, and he's like not an outspoken on how he's like comfortable about having a comfort, create my own city, like anybody that the Pope is in, or things, and they're about to win again. There's no way they don't win.
And that's what you're talking about, sports betting?
No, I'm not telling you.
No, I was saying yesterday.
Because I'm trying to sit and have all these what I realized is, okay, the spiritual community feels good because they realize it's almost like when you wake up, it's like Leo sometimes when he gets up and he's like a little frightened. So when you wake up, you're like, oh, God, this sucks. Like, oh, shit. And then, but usually it's someone of the spiritual community that tells you about it. So then you're like, oh, okay, I feel good because I see that this person is going to live. So then you try that, and then you go, still, like, you try that and then you go back to what you were before, or like you, that's not something you do. You go, oh, that's, like, we're just kind of going to, just like the other side of the coin, that we're not in a debate, or we're like, go together, you're like, so then when, like, higher perspective like, it's like watching Star Wars helped me like visualize it. It's like above, so below, shit, shit. So sides are gonna play like the best. I think I just realized that like Britain is not hot. Like they look sick and they look miserable. They don't look like they're having a good time. They're just like I don't know. They don't look it. They don't even have good personality.
British people?
Not British people. British people can say I love the way Todd Grant, Grant's wife, but
Kate
I'm
Blanchett?
talking about royalty because they're like
Oh, yeah.
so people like I thought they tell you like there's a top, but in actuality no, the top is above the side, and the top knows all the energetic things and is living by them. And they're like, hey, we can even tell them this stuff, and they're still going to eat at McDonald's when we told them, whether it's true or not, that there's human DNA or horse DNA, whatever. They make it, they can say whatever they want. They can be like, there's poop in your breakfast, and then we're going to go supersize you. So it's truly like I said yesterday, every second, where you invest your energy. Are you investing on that everything that you know and that you can then? Or are you like when you're in the spiritual community, you're just trying to you're just trying to let me bring it back. You're okay when you wake up, you're just trying, like many times you're just trying to not feel what you felt because it's very overwhelming. Like right now, I used to enjoy social media, I used to enjoy the shorts sometimes, the reels, whatever, but now it's just like it's too much. Like it's too much info and it's not like really validated or made with integrity 9 times out of 10. So
I'm thinking, oh yeah, well, you know what? You don't have to pay attention to it. You don't have to look at it. You don't need social media. You don't need to listen to the noise because it's just other noise. I don't watch the news. So now it's crept into my social media. So it's just discerning that energy and remembering, oh, we are doing and staying on the path. Like, with all the information available to us, what's the most powerful thing you can do? As cliche as this sounds, and as like easy and free, it's free. You can do it from a jail cell. You can do it from 1,000 acres. To be honest, it's all the same because it's all how you feel about it. You can do a little qigong, a little breath work. Make sure your feet are grounded in the earth. Your mind is open. Your heart is good. Like, you have nothing, you know, if you need to have conversations with people or you need to clear your field, do that. Get in alignment, and you'll find that consignment life that is available to you. And it's just as simple as maintaining the relationships, because we are, like, if you put together all the information and you like watch us like we're National Geographic, you go, oh, humans need each other to survive. So what are humans doing? Avoiding each other, separating from each other. They're powerful and they know it, and they tell each other online all the time, but what are they doing? Creating destruction with their words and their actions. So at some point we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and go, I did have a place in this. Whether it was my biological family or my spiritual family, did have a place creating this. And that means I have the power to create something else. You can create another layer on the page. You can, you know, however you need to do that. But we have that power, and it's so simple. Sometimes it goes away, escapes me how easy it is to just like maintaining relationships, being your best self wherever you go. Taking in that information. Oh, the food sucks out there. You can grow your own. It's not hard to get seeds once you start. If you consume produce, it's everywhere. Like, I have now an issue of what the fuck do I do with all my seeds? And I just learned how to propagate. So now I don't have to buy plants. And I don't have to kill a plant. I can go share the plant throughout the land. So that was long-winded and
It's good. Yeah.
so yeah, my wicked plan was just, there's all this energy going to the World Cup. Those of us that are aware, the good and the bad side, whatever, why don't we use that energy? Why don't we channel, like, put that energy towards what we want, visualize it, imagine it, play with it, really act it out.
What if we go to Miami and shoot like everybody dancing and stuff, and then we remix the Living Hardy song, and we make it Argentina edition? It does already have a Spanish verse on it, but it's not Argentina Spanish. They might notice.
No, I envisioned when we made that song, I told you guys the World Cup is happening. Like, I know, you know, like why I started connecting the dots? Someone put up that there's like this military dude that is like deep in the army, and his wife is like a witch. And instead of hiding her and wanting to kill her, he's like, yes, you're a witch. You're gonna help me, and we're gonna help each other. And we like the same kind of magic. And I work in this way and you work in that way. Sure, what they're doing is, I don't agree with it and I don't want to participate in it. You can't knock that they're successful. And that's where I was like, let's use all of our magic and all of our witchy ways, and when we're in the studio, speak that into existence. And here we are in this moment, and I'm like, this song, Living the Party for the World Cup, because it is a celebration song. So I guess whatever team wins, we're gonna celebrate with them.
Yeah.
And we all win, because we are all human, and we're all here together. And that's the only real way to end the war, or like change the frequency and open. It's not about You can't eliminate that channel. Our roommates love watching murder documentaries. That channel will exist. What we can do is increase the numbers on the channel that we want to experience. So look at your heart, you know, unload the shit from the past, get on the party bus. It's a party up in heaven.
No one invited. Oh, what up? Look, we have a cleaner. It's not the cleanest, but it's cleaner. But we're about to hit 12 o'clock, so about that time, it's time to hang out with baby. A nap zone. Is what? Oh shit. Oh, I got my Google Lens. And it's 12 o'clock. Alright, we got we gotta use our phone for this bug emergency.